In one of the most emotional moments of a lifetime, the future king was simply a grieving son. Prince Charles was fighting back tears Saturday as he appeared at the emotional funeral service of his father, Prince Philip. A tear rolled down Charles's cheek as he followed the Duke of Edinburgh's coffin, while accompanied by his sons, Prince William and Harry. He somberly walked in procession from Windsor Castle at 2:45, with senior members of the royal family behind Philip's custom-built Land Rover Defender hearse, which was driven into the castle's quadrangle before they carried his coffin through the grounds of St George's Chapel. Charles led his siblings, Prince Edward and Andrew, and Princess Anne, his sons William and Harry, and Peter Phillips, Vice Admiral Tim Lawrence, and the Earl of Snowdon. Behind them were members of Philip's household, and in front of the coffin were the service's chiefs. In St George's Chapel, the prince had tears in his eyes as he put on a black face mask before taking a seat next to his wife Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall. They were sat directly opposite Charles's mother, the grieving Queen, who was forced to sit alone as she bid farewell to her beloved husband. There was a time when the public thought the relationship between Prince Charles and his father, Prince Philip, was strained, and that was likely down to the 1988 biography by Penny Junor, who said that the Duke of Edinburgh had a very difficult relationship with Charles, and that they didn't speak to each other as normal father and son. In a separate narrative, which was featured in the television documentary Prince Philip, A King Among Princes, the Duke reportedly found his oldest son to be slightly exasperating, according to The Independent. Yet, during the early days after Prince Philip was admitted to hospital, it was Charles who was pictured teary-eyed as he made a 200-mile round trip to King Edward VII's hospital in London to visit his father. He stayed there for more than half an hour. Last week, Charles was pictured with tears in his eyes and looking to the heavens as he and Camilla inspected thousands of tributes left for Philip, the Queen's husband of 73 years. Charles and Camilla received news of Philip's passing at 99 on their 16th wedding anniversary last Friday. Weeks earlier, they had been in Greece on a 2-day visit celebrating the 200th anniversary since the start of the Greek War of Independence against the Ottoman Empire, where Charles mentioned his father at an official state dinner. Charles and Camilla were also moved by the sea of bouquets, cards and other items left by the Duke's mourners in the royal parks and at the gates of Buckingham Palace. They paused for long periods as they looked at the piles of tributes and looked particularly sad when they saw a toy Land Rover, his father's favourite car, which Philip asked to be the hearse to carry his coffin. A few days after the announcement of the passing of Philip, grieving family members rushed to pay tribute to the Duke, with Charles earlier having described his father, the nation's longest-serving consort, as his dear papa and a very special person. No matter what royal experts might have said in the past about the relationship between Prince Philip and Prince Charles, Charles's grief was evident for all to see, and it was the image of Queen Elizabeth II and the Prince of Wales breaking down that those who watched the funeral were moved to see. Prince Charles in tears and 94-year-old Queen having to sit alone at the funeral of her husband of 73 years. That was hard to watch, noted a member on Twitter who had tuned in to watch Prince Philip's moving service. Another tweeted, "It was heartbreaking to see the Queen Elizabeth, Prince Charles and Prince William's faces at the funeral. Above all, they are family. It was very deep. It was a beautiful and emotional farewell." Prince Philip was laid to rest in a simple funeral attended only by close relatives.